can get this narrative created. That doesn't necessarily mean a connection between you and her, but her viewing you as a win sexually. A lot of these other elements can fucking fall in place. You know, so you gotta get her viewing you as a win sexually by conveying value in the establishing premise process. You know, that's important. And once you gotta at least get that going a little bit to bake this cake. And now that you know you have more value, you can go and fill in more of the evaluation stage. Just to see your way through it and know that as long as she's not qualifying herself to you, assume it did. And then as you build more narrative, you can fill it in. Do that evaluation phase and make sure it builds in. That'll create more of a second tier narrative where there's a narrative of you and her together. But again, you don't necessarily need that. It is very possible to sleep with girls with very little connection. As long as she views you as a high value guy and it is a thing for her. Now in an ideal situation there is that connection because you've established that premise, you've established that you're evaluating and she's jumping through hoops. And it makes it feel like a win for her, for you two to be together. And you've established this specific narrative about you two being together. Now, just to remind you, what is narrative? Narrative is the story in her mind about why you are a win for her to sleep with. That doesn't necessarily involve collection, especially for these chicks who maybe they've been in too many relationships in the last number of years and they've clearly made the decision to themselves that they're just going to run through a series of fuckboys over the next few months or years or maybe the rest of their life. So you don't always have to fucking have a connection. A lot of times you don't necessarily want to have a connection. If she sends out that you're one of these I want a girlfriend motherfuckers, she'll just next you as somebody who's tedious and is going to be too hard to fucking train to fucking be the fucking what she wants. You know? So open premise, evaluate, narrative. Actually call out what she wants to have. She doesn't need to, so just gonna call out what she wants to have. She might be like, no thank you. No thank you. You say, that's funny, that was very forward of you actually. I always like to pronounce that chick as being forward. I love it. I always like to take whatever shit test she's given me and fucking misinterpret it in a way that establishes that she's being forward and she's chasing my shit. And then that sets up a disqualification. Well, that's very forward of you, but I can only stay for probably like 10 minutes. And I'm not sure you and I are going to get along. Just make it such, keep misinterpreting shit so that she's bringing up sex and say she's presuming a lot and shit like that. I just learned this naturally in Vegas. Doing it all the time. Everyone who's a natural pimp figures this shit out if they do enough approaches and they want it bad enough and they stay fucking focused and you can say I like you and boy I enjoy you. I find you pretty sexy. However, always remember however. Established premise and then however is a real good word to help remind you to get her chasing and prompt her for value and lock in that narrative of her winning you over and wanting to sleep with you because she sees it as a win for her, a validating thing.